Allora, i piedi che vedete in questo momento sono i piedi miei che si muovono e questi sono i piedi di Kyteman. Sono le 7 di sera, tra un po' parte la partita, la finale dei mondiali, siamo qui in backstage con Santa Giuliana e Kyteman sta per andare sul palco per starci un altro po' della sua grande energia. Mr. Kyteman, you're young, you're Dutch, you're obsessed with music. They say this about you. Tell us something about your music. Tell us something about what's going to happen later on stage here at Santa Giuliana when you walk on stage with the tribe of people you brought with him.
All right. Yes, I'll try and explain in a good way. What I've been trying to create is kind of a musical society. I have people kind of living on stage. I got musicians as well as MCs, rappers for hip hop, and I kind of set a grid for them, which is as well transcribed music as a set of rules, which marks their freedom and their boundaries. And from there on, I try and get the maximum energy out of them that is possible. The thing about the music itself, we call it a hip-hop orchestra, and that's because not so much the outer marks of hip-hop, but just the inner feel of hip-hop for us is what we've been trying to express here. And for that feel, for us, it's kind of a brotherhood thing, a unity, a friendship, a trust and loyalty thing. And all the music and the whole composition and the formation of the group is based upon that. So it's not so much hip hop as in boom boom bap and an MC talking about how great he is, but much more, yeah, how do you call it? Assertive music, which really goes around life and around the basic rules of that. And the music itself is, we try to, yeah, we're striving for it to reach a level which should surpass the hip-hop as we know it right now.
That's what I wanted to tell you, because you've been playing. Loro hanno suonato qua anche ieri sera, ed effettivamente ieri sera quello che noi abbiamo sentito non era targettabile come hip hop a sé stante. That's what I wanted to ask you, because last night you played here and we had a feeling that what you're playing is much outside of the boundary of hip hop. Actually, we defined it contemporary happy music last night, if you remember, right? And I was thinking that there is also, I believe, also a sound research, like you don't have electric bass, but the bass is a tuba, a sousaphone actually, is a sousaphone. So is this correct? Can you say something about this, like your search for a particular sound, which seems to be very important? You have violins, you have French horn, you have sousaphone and everything.
All right. Well, actually, the core part of the group, they've been with me from the beginning. And I started off with one key player, a bass player, a drummer and percussion player, 3 horns and 4 strings, and then all the MCs. And that was actually because I had created a record in 3 years' time by my own in my room. And at the end of the record, I kind of found out that if I want those sounds to be played on stage, I needed real instruments. I didn't want to stand there with a computer, press play and say, yeah, I did that, you know, that's not the way I like to do it. But then I was with the problem, like, I cannot do this with 4 musicians. So in a utopic list of what would I need for my music, I came up with an orchestra, in a way. And it is an orchestra. Right now we're with, what is it, 22 to 25 people. It kind of changes. But then the thing is, as the year passed, we found more and more interesting musicians. For example, the second key player, he's a ballet piano player. He's very much into classical music. All the strings, they have studied classical music. But then the tuba player, for example, just one day he rolled up like, hey, I want to join you guys. Cool. And all right, cool.
It's not easy to find a tuba player.
No.
A good one.
No, exactly. Yes, yes.
And the good one with a good groove, it's wow.
Yeah, no.
I was thinking last night, it's a miracle you find a guy like him.
I know, but that's kind of the thing. Our group is very open for new players as long as they can lock into the vibe, into the core feeling of this group. and it's more a state of mind than what instrument you play. If I would find someone playing like the bagpipes or whatever, if he knows how to add in his sound, I would love it, you know?
If it's in, why not?
Yes.
Okay. Last question. I wanted to say to you, you come from Holland. Holland has a very good situation with music, also with education with music. Toward music, mainly in jazz and everything. Do you think that this thing has been influencing you, has had some influence, having had the background you have and having had the chance to study music? Because I'm sure you did, because it looks like you've been studying music also. You're a fully accomplished musician.
All right, I'll try and set my mind on that. Yeah, first off, indeed, I have studied a lot of music since since I was like 5 years old. I've been studying music non-stop until the age of 17, and I did my first primary school was half a day of school, half a day of music. Then my high school days were conservatory, combined with some school classes, but mainly conservatory. And they taught me a lot, really everything between the solfège and the theory and history of music, everything. But there's one thing that I found out in those classes, that is, people can teach you everything about music, but they cannot teach you about you and music. That's one thing you will never learn. And that's as well is one of the big misconceptions that some teachers have, that at some point they want to create exact copies of themselves in you. And I was lucky with the teachers I had, that they told me like, yeah, no, I taught you everything about the theory, but now what are you going to do?
To give you the tool and the key, but you must open the door.
Exactly, that's the whole thing. So if you are doing one of those studies, always keep in mind that in the end, it's got to be you playing that music, and it's not the books that are teaching it to you. It's you that's grasping the info you want to take with you to a new level. So basically, that's about it.
Thanks a lot. We had a great time talking to you, and we hope you play great as last night, because it was a great concert and your music is very beautiful. Thanks for bringing us so much energy. Ciao.